Yo, what's going on, boys and girls? How the devil are we? It's your old pal Shanksy, and welcome to my roster reviews, where we look at yours. Well, maybe not yours, but somebody's roster that's asked for it, and we have a little look what they're doing, where they're going with it, and if we can offer them any advice whatsoever. Now, these are really good for a couple of reasons. One, you can look at how many days played, where they're at, how much they've spent, and compare that to your roster and see if you're moving in a similar direction or indeed a better or worse direction, and hopefully get some tips and tricks while we're at it. Now, before we get into today's roster, if you're interested in having your roster looked at, there are links to the Discord down below. There is a small charge for the service, but if you join the Discord, have a little look and drop me over a DM if you're interested. I look forward to hearing from you. But without further ado, let's get into this roster, shall we? Yo, what's going on, boys and girls? How the devil are we? Today's roster review, we are checking out Mr. StonerViking himself. And I've got to be honest, I love this name, and every time I do, it reminds me of this meme. Got so much time for that, it's unbelievable. Right. Mr. StonerViking has got a total collection power of 3 million. Strongest team power of 281k. War MVP 8 times. Total characters collected 125 times. 125 of them. 25 of them are at max rank. And his all-time arena rank is rank 1. Now, he has just passed the 1 year mark, and he has been playing this for a grand total of 375 days, and he's only spent about 50 bucks. He went free to play after the first month or so after buying a Hometown Heroes offer, and realised it weren't all that great value. So he's been free to play ever since. So he's done really, really well in a year to get over 3 million collection power. Fair bloody play to you, man. And he's also said a couple of interesting notes about my red stars. I had never pulled a 6 or 7 red star until a few days ago. And then he got a 7 red star. We're going to find out who that is in a minute. And I've never pulled any red stars on Ravager Stitcher, which I'm very happy about, as you bloody should be, mate. As you bloody should be. For those of us out there with red stars on Ravager Stitcher, whatever. Right, without further ado, boys and girls, let's get into this roster. We're going to go through the roster. We're going to have a little look at all of the tunes in there. Then we're going to have a little look at save squads. And hopefully, as we're doing this, I'm going to be able to give little bits of advice that Mr. StonerViking is going to find helpful, and you are as well. But one of the beauties about this format, guys, is this is a community review. All right, so I want to know what you'll do with this roster as well. I want to see down in the comments below what you would do with this. So right, let's crack into it. So we are starting at the top of the shop. 61k on Rocket Raccoon with 58 there on Phoenix as well. Phoenix is at 6 star, not yet 7. 4 red stars on her, very nice indeed. It's exactly what I've got my Phoenix at. Only level 72. Now I've got to be honest, Phoenix, Ultron, Minerva, Black, but there's certain characters that you don't mind taking up to 75 at all. And Phoenix is top of that list. If you do put extra gold into her, you will not regret it, I guarantee you that much, but nothing. Then we've got Groot there at 57k, Star-Lord at 53, Punisher at 50, Ultron behind myself at 50k as well. So we're already seeing a very, very strong BKT team in the top lineup here, with Nick Fury at 48, Shield Secure at 47, Thanos at 45, and Minerva at 45. So a really, really strong BKT team. I bet you're absolutely smashing it in U6 and whatnot. Now, and the beauty about the BKT team is there's some of them characters that can go over to U7 very, very nicely. You know, well, when I say some, there's Minerva. Yeah. There's Minerva, but you've already got Ultron up there. So that is one of the big things that we're going to be looking at for this roster as well, is what we can strengthen for U7 and get that 30 and 60% ready. Captain Marvel's there at 43k, Iron Man at 43k, Deadpool at 41 with War Machine at 41, Colossus at 40, Rescue at 39, Storm at 39, Jessica Jones at 38 with Falcon in there at 38. 6 stars on Falcon, and I would probably recommend moving towards him for U7. I'm a big fan of Tech Wing. Depending on what else comes up in the roster, I'm a big fan of Tech Wing for U7, and then adding and adjusting it slightly. Iron Fist is in there at 38.7, and then we move down to Psylocke at 38.3 with Vision at 37, Invisible Woman at 37, Hela at 37, Loki at 36. Really tightly grouped, these guys. I like that a lot. Wolverine at 36, Luke Cage at 36, Daredevil at 35, Hulk at 35, and Scientist Supreme at 35. Right. My first snippet of advice. We're talking about U7. That was a really big part of what to do in this roster review. Stop everything you're doing immediately. Scientist Supreme is your girl. Scientist Supreme is your girl. I cannot stress this enough. She's absolutely insane for U7. She's so good, you know. And I think one of the big like trios at the moment, everybody's rocking, or at least 95% of people that I know that are rocking at the moment. Scientist Supreme, Ultron, Shuri. Those three together, the defense up the hills, all that type of good stuff. They are absolutely so important to be able to apply buffs to yourself, massive amounts of negative effects to the enemy. For U7 guys, Scientist Supreme in my book is an absolute must. I have tried so many different teams in U7, so many different teams, and she is one character that I cannot possibly replace. So definitely gearing up for U7, Scientist Supreme needs to be worked on sharpish. Mordo's there at 35, Scarlet Witch is at 34, The Thing's at 33 with Ronan the Accuser at 33, Ghost Rider at 33.5, Drax there at 33, Spider-Man at 32, Strange, Human Torch and Gamora all around that 32 mark. So everyone's really closely linked. Now I'm seeing a lot of these guys at 60, 65, 66s, 67s, all that type of stuff. So there's a lot of gold gone into these guys at these levels. Now Hela's one that I would recommend taking up to 71 without a shadow of doubt. Scientist Supreme. Mine's at 71 at the moment. I will be taking her up to 75 without a shadow of a doubt. Falcon's good at 71. There's a few in there that are definitely worth bumping up a little bit. Obviously gold dependent, right? Obviously gold dependent. Then we are going to be moving down from Gamora. We've got Miss Marvel there at 31, level 62. Carnage, Elsa, Miles and Thor all at the 30 mark. With Shield Medic there at 30 as well. Venom, Mr. Fantastic, Sif and Mantis rocking in at 29s. Then we are going to move down ever so slightly to Pyro at 27. Coulson at 27.6. Now, I know that you mentioned War a little bit, and I don't know how big a focus War is. I really like Coulson going up to level 71. I really like Coulson at 71 for that whole Fury, Coulson, Medic combo, you know, and you've already got some really big shield minions in that squad already. Now, I've got to be honest, the whole Coulson team isn't getting as much wins as it used to. When it first come out, it was like, oh my days, how are we going to beat this? And I feel like most of us have got that number by now, but it still involves burning either your X-Men or an incredibly strong team. So putting Coulson's in there, let's bring out them big teams, man. Sometimes bringing out a real big team is as good as a defense win. Magneto in there at 27, Heimdall at 27, Namor at 26.8 with Mr. Sinister at 26, Black Panther at 25 with Shield Assault, Rhino and Killmonger going down there to 24. Now I'm noticing even towards the lower end, these guys are still really high level, even though they've not been geared. So if you're not gearing them up to certain levels, maybe taking them up to 60 is a bit of a waste of gold, where it could go on the guys that you're relying on a daily basis. You know, I think we've always recommended roster wide, but it's getting to the point now. I'm feeling like a strategy that's worked really well for me is picking a team, grinding it out, focusing on that team, and then moving on. And I feel like by doing that team by team, your roster gets really wide. But your roster at the top end is also really strong for what you need it to do at any given time. Juggernaut in there at 24/7 with Shuri at 24, Okoye at 22, A Monstrosity at 21, Kree Royal Guard, Crossbones at 28, Security, Graviton, Green Goblin and Mystique all around the 19. Now, you know what I'm going to say. You know what I'm going to say immediately, guys, and I know you're thinking it at home. Shuri, she's part of that Holy Trinity right now. She needs some TLC, baby. She needs some TLC. She's at 24. We need to be rocking that much higher, without a shadow of a doubt. So going down from Mystique, then we go to Captain America, Amos Salter, Vulture, Shocker, Korath. All of these guys with Mysterio behind me at 18, Sabretooth, M'Baku, Kree Reaper, and Yondu all around the level 50 to 60 markers again. It's a lot of gold, even though they're still on the blue gear. You know, they all look like they're about gear tier 7. So it's a lot of gold. If you're not going to be taking them up past that gear tier, level 60 is not really worth it, right? So I tend to go like 71 for gear tier 12s, 75 for gear tier 13s, 65 for gear tier 10, you know, and then 60 for gear tier 9, 50 maybe for gear tier 8, and so on and so on. So keeping your level relative to your gear score can actually really help out, and again strengthen the top end of your roster when you're picking that out. So 17k at level 55 for Kingpin, Quake at 17k, Ant-Man at level 55, 16.6, Nobu 16, Cyclops, Kree, Oracle and Cyborg, Cable at 15, Kree Noble and Strife in there as well. So even Strife with no red stars on him is 15k, but level 60, man. There's a lot of gold gone into him. Where is he really worth it at the moment without being able to farm him, without being able to gear him up and stuff? I don't know personally. I've not done much with my Strife. Elektra in there at 14.7 with Merc Lieutenant there at 14.2. Really nice 5 red stars on Merc Lieutenant there as well. And Merc Lieutenant, in my opinion, is probably one of the best minions in the game. Can slot in so many different squads. Such a versatile character. I really, really like him. America Chavez is in there at 13.8 with Yo-Yo. My personal favourite, full stop, at this point in time, is Yo-Yo. Mine's level 75, gear tier 13. Love Yo-Yo right now. And she's actually beasting it in U7. So, look, personal preference, I'd put some more work in the Yo-Yo, right? I would put some more work in the Yo-Yo. Hand Sorceress there at 13.2. Hand Assassin at 12.9. Black Widow at 12.8. Hawkeye at 12.8. Shield Trooper at 12.6. And Nebula at 11.9. And even Nebula, even Nopula is up there at level 55. You know, there's a lot of gold gone into Nebula. And she might get you a few extra blitz points and stuff like that. But I know personally I'd rather use that extra gold on Yo-Yo or Crystal. Probably not Karnak, but you get what I'm saying. Shield Operative there at 11.7 with Bullseye there at 11.4. Karnak at 11.3. Hand Sentry, Winter Soldier, Hydra Scientist, Wasp, Merc Right Guard, Crystal, Rifle Trooper, and the usual suspects down the bottom with the rest of the Hydras, Night Nurse, Hand Archer, all the type of guys that I would expect to see down here. Your Symbiote Spider-Man's actually bigger than mine, fair play. I've still not got round to leveling him up. True story, what I'm doing at the moment, guys, is I'm actually working on Hydra quite badly, getting ready for Red Skull. And not only that, I went up against a Hydra team in war the other day, and they kicked my ass. Like, they kicked my ass. I tried a 50k punch down, and they kicked my ass. So I'm working on Hydra right now. I don't know about you guys, but that's where my gold's going. And honestly, every time I do it, it kills me. Kills me internally. Right, Stitcher there with no red stars. Ravager Bruiser, Merc Soldier, Hydra Grenadier, and Toad. But where is that 7 red star? Look at that blob. What? Look at that blob. 7 on the big man. Holy moly. Whoa. That's going to do some bloody damage, man. That's going to be so awesome. I can't wait to see that in action. I really can't. But, so right, that is the roster. Now we all know what we're working with. Let's have a little look at the save squads and see what advice we can give. Right, so top of the shop, we have got the BKT team, which I thought it might be. And that is rocking at about 263k power. Really solid position in there. You've got Rocket in the middle with both Thanos and Star-Lord feeding in energy. The only thing, you know what? I'd keep that exactly the way it is. And what I've noticed about these teams as well is I really, really like them. and I don't know if you guys have noticed this at home as well, is everyone's so closely leveled together, but the blasters are always just a little bit higher. 61k there for Rocket Raccoon, 58k there for Phoenix, and then we've got Iron Man and War Machine, both a few K higher up. So I really, really like the layouts of these teams. 200k there, 213k there for the X-Men. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever, keeping them guys separated. We've got perfect positioning again on, to be fair, positioning on the Power Armor team doesn't really make too much difference in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think. Then we've got Luke Cage, Pun Fenders basically at 200k. I would leave them where they are. And again, Punisher being a fair bit higher than everybody else I like. 180k team for Ultron. And what are we doing with Ultron? We've got Ultron with Mantis, Drax, Hulk and Gamora. I actually used to run something fairly similar myself at one point. I don't think I had Gamora in there. I can't remember who I had in there instead. But I don't think it was Gamora. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that team at all. Making use of the leftovers. Obviously, you're using the rest of the Guardians with BKT. Makes sense. Then we go down to Coulson Fury. And as I say, I would like to see Coulson a little bit higher and Shield Assault a little bit higher. And obviously, because of the way the synergy works, Medic as well. So really focusing on that team and maybe bringing them up to about the 200, 250k mark would be really, really solid. You've got quite a decent amount of red stars on most of them guys as well. So it shouldn't be too difficult to hit the 200, 220k mark just by boosting them up a little bit. Coulson is an absolute beast still in war. As I say, drags out them big, big teams. Unfortunately, he doesn't really slot into too many other game modes, in my opinion. Then we move down to the Brawlers. And we've got Miss Marvel on the end there with Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Miles Morales and Deadpool all together. Now, I wonder what will happen with this team. This is the same type of team that I'm running. I think I've got Gamora in there instead. But I'm also wondering what will happen with this Brawlers team, with the Spider-Man going off to the Symbiote team. It's going to be interesting, right? It's going to be interesting. But as things stand, as far as I've tested out, this is a really, really solid team. Going down to the Supernatural team, really, really closely together. 167, I like it. Fantastic Four in there at 160, I like it. Again, there's certain teams that I'd want to be bringing up, but I think the big, big, big focus at this point in time, especially going for U7, is what you're looking to do, is going to be your Scientist Supreme and your Shuri. We've got a really nice Asgardians there. We've got the Brotherhood in there with Carnage and Venom. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So I feel like Scientist Supreme and Shuri getting leveled up a lot more is going to help out massively. Then after that, to be honest, after that, your main priority is probably going to be the Blob, right? Going to be the Blob, trying to get him up as tanky and juicy as possible, right? Dear, oh dear, oh dear. So, and the rest of these teams, like, to be fair, I don't know, I only use a lot of my lower teams in the Blitz, only the one rotation. So even though the Shuri's not the best to be really, really high level, she'll still do fine in the first rotation. And then maybe just drop that team out for later on rotations. It doesn't make too much a difference in the grand scheme of things when pushing fairly high. So taking Shuri up is going to be a big, big help. Scientist Supreme is going to be a big, big help. Getting the rest of the Sinister Six up to 7 stars, obviously to then boost Shuri up to 7 stars as well, is going to be absolutely massive. So they would be my priorities as things stand. Moving on down to the Marauders. I really wouldn't do much else with these guys at this point in time. Definitely not Kingpin, so I would leave him where he is right now. This Karnak Inhumans team, basically. I quite like Black Widow in there as a replacement for Black Bolt until you're able to pick up Black Bolt. And when the rest of the Asgardians become farmable, they might shift to be one of my top priorities, because I think Black Bolt's phenomenal, right? Absolutely phenomenal. But until that happens, I wouldn't make them a priority or take them up any higher. I genuinely think for what you're looking for, Scientist Supreme and Shuri are going to be massive, massive for you. And what can we put in there with them? So all these teams are fairly standard. We've got Hydra down there as well, and then the Symbiote team as well, which we're doubling up on a lot of these. What I would be doing to start with is probably going a little bit Tech Wing-ish. So I would probably start working on Falcon, Scientist Supreme, and Shuri. Those would be my 3 that I would start focusing on. You've got a really good Minerva there anyway, and you've got a good Ultron. So that will be your 5. If you didn't want to work, or sorry, I've just looked at what I've done to the screen there. If you didn't want to work on Falcon, you could then either look at Hela or Hela's a real good shout. Hela's a real good shout. Or Yo-Yo. Moving up Yo-Yo towards that position would be really good. Even though Black Bolt's not in the squad, Yo-Yo's still going to apply that defense down quite a lot. Vision is a decent possibility as well. I know a couple of people have been rocking the Jugs and Mags combo, and decent Jugs and Mags there as well. But the holy trinity for U7 has got to be Scientist Supreme, Ultron, and Shuri, right? It's got to be Scientist Supreme, Shuri, Ultron. They are the trinity, and then the other 2 can type of like as and when, you know, like you might even throw Blob in there at one point because of his crazy 7 red stars and whatnot. But they are going to be your main focus. So focusing on those 5 specifically, or those 3 specifically, it's easy for you to say, Shanks, and then trying to bring in other characters that you like, either with really high red stars or that are working at the time. But work on those 3 to start with. As far as teams go, I would be working on the Sinister Six. They're a really good defense team. They're a pretty decent war attack team. They're a good blitz team. And they're going to move Shuri up to 7 stars as well. So that would be my top priority at this point in time for you, mate. But guys and girls, at home, what would you do if this was your roster? This is what I need to know as well. I want to get your feedback, guys. It's going to help me out. It's going to help Stone out. Let me know what you would do down below. Guys, that is it for me today. I hope you've enjoyed the video, as always. And if you want to get in touch with me, links are all down below. Join the Discord, all that type of good stuff. But until next time, you take it easy.